Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Today I want to do a review of the NKJV Premier collection. I have the NIV here to compare it to. This is just an amazing Bible, guys. The spine is all dry stamped. It's not tooled. There's no hubs. It's just it's just aesthetically on there. It's not tooled in or anything like that. It's just dry stamp, gold dry stamp. So as you can see, you got 5 of the hubs areas, 10 lines total. New King James Version, Thomas Nelson, Holy Bible. It is perimeter stitched. Very well done on the perimeter stitching. I apologize for all the stuff that's getting all over the Bible right now, just because my daughter's room, I'm in her art room, the quietest place in the house, so that's where the Bible review's happening. The gold's very well done, I've noticed. It is red under gold. I would compare it to Cambridge's salmon color. Spot on with Cambridge, I would say. So it's salmon under gold. They call it red under gold, but us Bible aficionados would call it salmon. 3 ribbons, and the ribbons are way better than a lot of the Cambridge of the past. Cambridge is stepping up their game now too, but these are 3 satin ribbons. They are single-sided satin. They are not double-sided satin like a Beresford that you would get from Allen or Schuyler, but you can't be too picky just because this Bible is not as expensive as an Allen or Schuyler. In the future, yeah, I would like to see them upgrade that to Beresford. Maybe put some tooled hubs. I'm not know about raised hubs. I think this flops open a lot better with the flat spine, but I don't know. Anyhow, let's look at the grain now, since I've talked about the cover. This grain is way better, in my opinion, than the NIV. The NIV's got a pebble grain to it. I will get an angle here that you can see. There you go in the light. Look at that pebble grain. Smooth, really nice, really soft, supple to the touch. But this one here, I've never gotten lucky enough to get this. Eric 1111 was always fussing about grain on a Bible, of how it's just an amazing thing, making a big stink over it, how great it is. I can see where he's coming from now. I mean, the guy is a genius when it comes to the grain of a Bible, and he's always gotten lucky in getting these things, and I've never gotten one that had a nice grain to it, and I finally got one. Look here. See that grain? Now look at this big old grain spot right here, the line. That is an amazing deep cut grain right there. Aesthetically pleasing. It feels great in the hand, soft and supple. That is an amazing grain line. Handsome. I'm so excited about this Bible, guys. So with that being said, let's measure this real quick. So what we have here is right at 9 7/8 of an inch for the cover, and right at 6 7/8 for the width. And thickness of the block is, sorry about the floor shot there. Trying to do this with one hand. I would call that right at 1 1/8 of an inch thick. Again, I apologize for the mess. This is my daughter's room. She'll be cleaning it. She cleans it daily, but she does so much artwork. And without the cover, it is right at 1 inch. Right at 1 inch. A little over 1 inch without the cover. And then the text block without the cover is 9 1/4 by 6 1/4. There you go. Get that out of the way. That's pretty hard to do with one hand. As you can see here, it is edge lined. Tab here. Gold art gilt line all the way around the perimeter of the inside cover. dry stamped goatskin leather cover. We'll open it up here. Tab pages, presentation page, and if you remember right from the other review, the NIV does have a little bit better presentation page, a little bit fancier, a little bit more aesthetic. Graphics to it. This one's more plain. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't take points away from the Bible at all. This one feels more well constructed. I don't know what it is. Some have said that the NIV feels a little loose. I think that's maybe what it is. So here's the title page. As you can see, this has the red accents for and writing for the pages, as opposed to just being bold and having gray lines. So if you want to pause that right there, you can. If you can see, this is the 2K Denmark, but it's called Thomas Nelson NKJV typeface. Yes, it is printed in China. You would not guess that by handling this Bible, though. I can guarantee you this Bible doesn't feel like one from China. If you filled cheap Chinese paper before, this is not it. This is comparable to the 20, this is actually 36 GSM. So it's comparable to the Schuyler. Schuyler have a better paper, but again, the price reflects that too. It's a $200 Bible you're going to be spending. This is actually, the bad news is this has actually went up to $134.99 on Amazon. But the good news is it's still at $83, $84 on Evangelical. And I will put that in the link below in the description for you guys if you want to order this Bible. So for right now, I would recommend Evangelical. Here's the preface, crisp and clean. Compare it with the NIV preface. A little bit more gray color to the font, only because it's so dark and it is not line matched. So far, like, cover is better than the NIV in my opinion. The fact that it's line matched is better. The fact that they use the red is better. See the red for the subheadings, the chapter headings, and down here in the references, verse 1:1, here's the cross references for that. Verse 1:2, cross references for that, and the footnotes along with it in the lower quadrant of the page there. A nice page setups, very similar to Schuyler. Obviously, if you guys watch reviews or if you have a Schuyler, it's very similar to that. An amazing layout. Again, another point in my opinion for the fact that this has references and this is not a reference Bible. So let's flip to the poetry section here. I want to show you something that I like a lot about NKJV as well. This is nothing new to this edition, obviously, but it's just little things that make me enjoy it, and I'm thankful for things they do. I know a lot of this is stuff that's not in the original. Everybody will use the argument, well, capitalization of deities in NKJV, but it's not in the original. Well, if you were going to use that argument, then all the verse numbers should be taken out. The subheadings, they should all be in paragraph form, run on. There's no punctuation or anything if you're going to the original. So that would be really confusing in the English. So these little things I'm thankful for that we get, like the letters set apart from the text. Then he brought the letter to the king of Israel, which said, and then here we go. This one does not do that. The NIV doesn't do that. Not many translations do that. I know CSB does it to an extent. They don't do it complete separation like the NKJV does. They will go on the very next line and set it apart. It's still set apart. So kudos to CSB for doing that. That's just something that's kind of cool. But as you can see here, the letters right here, they don't do that in here. Again, that's not line match. This is line match. Another point for the NKJV. Just thought I'd share that with you. That's cool to me that they do that. Again, the ghosting is minimal, especially since this is line match. So this is Isaiah right here that we're in. There's Psalm, verse by verse. Very beautiful layout. Very bold, honestly. It's comparable to the NIV, but it's more readable in my opinion because you don't have the gray areas because it's line matched. So we'll go over here to the New Testament, and it is not in red letter. It is black letter text. This is an 11-point font. It's advertised as 11-point font. This is advertised as 11.4. We'll compare them real quick. We won't put it in the same book. We aren't going to take that much time to do it. Here's a font comparison. So this is a little bit bigger. 11.4 is what it advertises, and it probably just a hair more, but I would call these closer to 10 and 10.5, just because of the font style. It would make them look more like a 10 and a 10.5. So just keep that in mind. It's still very readable. This I would compare to the font size in the Omega. Obviously, this wins a lot of the areas over the Omega. Is like the ribbons, the fact that the layout, the color, the maps are a little better in this, in my opinion, too. We'll see just a second here. So here's another thing I like about this one over the NIV. After you get out of Revelation, you have a concordance. And with the NIV, after Revelation, make this really easy, it goes straight into the cardstock, the end of the Bible. What the downfall of that is do not let this deter you from buying it. This, I've never seen this in anybody else's review. You're free to say yay or nay in the comments below if you do have a Premier NIV and this is an issue. But as far as I know, this is not an issue in most. This one got glued about this far all the way up, but it doesn't affect the text because it's just a weight and measures page. And still you can see everything about the weight and measures. The one thing, you can see the crease there, you got to be careful closing that because it swallowed itself up. Swallowed the paper, ate it right up. That's why I prefer to have a concordance or something after that, so you don't do that with your Bible text. And this has a pretty nice concordance. Really readable. Bold, stands out. They still have the red accent, red letters up there. And here's the maps. I find these maps better than Crossway. These are Zondervan maps. They're glossy, but they're not like a super shiny glossy. I mean, I'm in a lot of light right now, and you don't have a lot of glare. They're actually really nice, detailed, colorful, not too bright and vibrant. Just perfect, I would say. I'm really gonna put this Bible to the test, guys. This one here I do plan on using a lot more, only because it has the references, the maps. That was the Smithsonian I was showing off there. I plan on beating the heck out of this thing just to see how it holds up, give you guys a review of how it's holding up. As you know, I like TR text a little bit better than the CT text, but not that I don't love the NIV. I love the NIV a lot. It's a great translation. It's one of my favorites of the CT text, or I shouldn't say CT text. I just said text twice. The CT, critical text. It's one of my favorites, but like again, I say, I prefer the TR text. It's just a preference of mine. I don't condone anybody for reading the CT. Obviously, I do love it because I have more than one NIV. As a matter of fact, the NIV may have become one of my #1 used translations after the news I got today. These are for review, and they're an honest opinion they're my honest opinion. These are definitely worth the money. This is worth $134 all day long, guys. This is a premium Bible, and so is this. This one's going for $87.36, which is an odd number on Amazon, and this one's going for $134.99. But again, it's going for 80 something on Evangelical. So look for that in the description below if you want this. This one, you can go watch the video on this one for the description where to buy this one. You can look on Evangelical while you're looking at this one to see what they're running for. I don't know what they're running for on Evangelical. May even be in the 70s, even. But that grain is just amazing. This is literally a premium Bible. This thing begs to be touched. It's got a hefty feel to it, but not too heavy. But it's hefty. It's just like, it feels like it's going to last a long time. It feels. You want to read it. Obviously, the dry stamping will wear off with use, but again, I'll do a follow-up in a few months, touch basis. But what I was saying about the NIV is the news I found out today, and I got sidetracked with these being review copies. I got a review copy coming from Cambridge. It's NIV Clarion and Calf Split. So I may be reading out of that quite a bit because that's an absolute joy to read out of the Clarion. And the only reason why I know that is because I had a Caxton Schuyler, and I know that they're similar in their layout, and that was a pure joy to read out of. And the Clarion is actually smaller, so a lot more portable. And if you guys know me from my past reviews or know me from Facebook, I really enjoy the Cameo by Cambridge, so I think I'm going to love this Clarion. But look for that review in the future. I don't know when it will be, but it will be in the near future sometime. And look for the CSB Spurgeon review. That'll come up around Thursday to Friday of this week. I just love you guys, and I thank you for watching. God bless. Subscribe, share these, leave comments. If you have questions, by all means, leave comments, because I know I forget a lot when I get so excited over these reviews, and then I get to rambling on, and I forget the important stuff at times. So if there's something you feel I didn't cover, let me know. I will definitely try to address your question to you as soon as I can. Again, that's entrancing, that deep cut, that deep grain right there. It's just amazing. But thank you for watching. God bless, and definitely purchase this Bible. It's a definite own. If you're an NKJV fan, you definitely have to have this one. Love you guys. God bless.